Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I'd like to welcome you to my backyard underneath the canopy this afternoon, well, late afternoon, where we're going to do some canning today. I'm going to make Great Northern Bean soup with andouille smoked sausage with a twist. And the twist is I'm going to be adding the leftover pot liquor from my greens, which is an old-fashioned way of cooking your beans with leftover pot liquor, also known as the juice from your greens. Our ancestors were notorious for doing this because they tried to make food stretch as long as they can. Now, mine's going to be a little different. Now, I have 3 pounds of Great Northern beans. What I've done is sorted them, and I had something happen that I've never in my life had happen. I've always heard about it, but it's never happened till today. I actually got a rock in my beans. So definitely, and it surprised me because I've never had a rock before in none of my bags of beans ever. So be careful, everyone. Now, of course, pick through your beans, get all the ones that are bad out. Look for rocks, apparently, and wash them or rinse them off real good. And what I done is put them in my big stock pot, filled it about halfway full of water, brought that up to a boil for about 15 minutes, and they've been soaking for almost 2 hours. So I'm going to drain those off after a while, but for now I've got to get my ingredients prepped and ready to go. And I just decided, since yesterday I was in the store and I found some clearance items, I'm like going, what the heck, let's just make a really interesting pot of bean soup. So, and like I warned everybody about shrinkflation, yeah, this used to be a pound. Now it's down to 14 ounces. So I have almost what's a little over a pound and a half of andouille sausage, which I'm going to slice up. I have some mushrooms. I have a package that I got on clearance of onions and diced onions and bell peppers. I have another onion I'm going to add to it. I have a quart jar of ham bone stock. I have some liquid smoke, and I thought this would add a little kick to the beans. It's a bag that I got on clearance of carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower. Sounded good to me. So let's load this soup up. Now, of course, not all my ingredients are optional. You don't have to use them. And I have 3 bulbs of homegrown elephant garlic, parsley flakes, oregano leaves, crushed red pepper flakes. Slap your mama. I love that stuff. And I think that might be all the seasonings I'm going to use. If I change my mind, I'll let you know. But I'm going to get busy cutting, slicing, dicing, and chopping so we can get started on, once again, another round of late night canning. I'll see you back here in just a little while once I get this all cut up. Okay, I have everything sliced. Let's see what show it. Sliced, diced, chopped up, and sorry, but I expect people to be smart enough to know to wash your vegetables. That's why I forget to tell people that, because, I shouldn't have to, but I washed the carrots, the broccoli, and the cauliflower, made sure they were good and clean, picked through, got out any that looked bad, and I also cleaned up my mushrooms. I just strained my beans. I reserved just a little bit of the cooking fluid because the way I think is some of the nutrients is lost in the soaking water. So I do reserve some of the cooking juice. I have everything ready to go. So let's move over to the stove and start making this wonderful pot of soup. See you here in a bit. Okay, me being me, I got my pot warming up, letting my oil get hot. And I like to build flavor. So in goes the sausage. There we go. 'Cause I want to get a little bit of color on the sausage. I know it's not traditional andouille, but it's the closest I can get to it at the moment. And that's what I want to hear, is that simmer, that sizzle. Because I definitely want to make sure that I get some color on it. And as you see, I've got it cut up in small slices. Because every bite might not be a piece of sausage, but it's going to have the sausage juice in it. It's going to have the ham bone stock, bone stock in it, and it's going to have the hog jowl, meat juices and the ham stock from the green pot liquor too. So it's going to have plenty of meat in it. Going to put in my onion, my minced garlic, and some bell pepper. If I would have thought about it, which I should have, I would have grabbed some celery too. Celery would be really good in this soup as well. I can't believe I forgot about the celery. Oh well, stuff happens. Oh, I wish y'all could smell this. It smells so wonderful. And the sausage doesn't have much fat in it, apparently. I'm going to let that saute up for a little while. Let me tell you, it smells good. Once this cooked up, you could put this on a hoagie bun with a little mustard and be happy. But I have bigger plans for these little guys. And that little medium onion I had, whoo, that one was a strong one cutting it up. That was definitely strong. Now I know that my pot liquor still has bits of greens in it, which is fine. That's going to be great in the soup as well. And I think it has a few little pieces of hog jowl in it. But that pot liquor has been used 3 different times. I used it to can my greens with. I used it to can what turnips I had left over. I got 3 pint jars of those. And now it's going to be the basis for this wonderful bean and andouille soup. Oh, mosquito. Sorry about the noise in the background. That is out of my control, unfortunately. Starting to get a little color on that. Throw in the vegetables. And make sure you get all those little pieces of broccoli. And yes, I did add the stems as well. Because they're all going to cook together and be just fine. That's a beautiful sight right there. Let me get my oh, that jar was sealed. It didn't want to open. Now you can yours in pint jars. I'm going to be doing quarts because it's 2 of us. And when time gets bad, a quart jar will be plenty of soup for the 2 of us. Oh, this smells so good. I'm going to go in and add my wonderful ham bone broth or bone stock. Because I don't just use bones, I use vegetables in it when I make my bone stock. Oh, you can smell the ham bone. Might as well go in and add the hot liquor. And no, nothing's wrong with it. It's just the fat, the little bit of fat that was in it. And make sure you get all of it out of your pot. You don't want to waste nothing. And of course I'm going to add some water to that here in a bit. But look at that. Yep, little pieces of greens all in there. Alright, let's get some seasoning going. Parsley gives a little bitty bit of flavor, but it works best for digestion. And I want 2 heaping tablespoons of it. heaping tablespoon of oregano. Teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And 2 tablespoons of Slap Your Mama. I'm sorry, people. That is out. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, I think they finally decided on how to behave over there. I apologize. It just irks me to no end. And I'm gonna add the rest of my half a bottle of liquid smoke. Oh, I love liquid smoke. And I'm using the hickory. Now, they have a mesquite, they also have a pecan, and they have a regular. So, it is up to you which one you want to use. Oh, that's going to be one amazing pot of soup. Okay, let's get these beautiful beans added in. Now remember, they're not fully cooked, but they're close. They're a little over halfway cooked. They'll cook more once they get canned. Look at that, look at that. That is going to be one amazing soup. You got your turnip greens, you got your carrots, you got your sausage. There's a piece of mushroom, broccoli, carrots, onions, bell peppers, garlic. I'll be right back. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Okay, added just a little bit more water because I want to make sure that there is enough pot liquor in there to be able to can them, because you're going to want some liquid in there as well. Oh, this is just beautiful. Look at that. And that just makes my heart happy. And yes, before anybody says anything, I'm a rebel canner. I don't like nor let people tell me what I can and cannot can. Because if you can find it in the store on the shelf, it was canned. So, if they can can it, why can't I? The problem nowadays, if you find old ball canning jar books that date back to the 50s and 60s and 70s, you'd be amazed at all the recipes that are in there of things you can can then, but all of a sudden you can't can now. People don't realize just what a massive force the food industry is and what kind of lobbying power they have. But look at that. Is that not gorgeous? That is going to be one amazing soup. Okay, I'm going to bring this up to heat because I want to check my seasonings, see if it needs anything else. And I'll bring you back. I'm going to put a lid on it, let it come up to heat. It's getting there. And I'll let you know what it tastes like. See you back here in just a bit. Okay, it's come up to heat. And I'm going to taste it. See if it needs any more seasoning. Oh my gracious, that's wonderful. Now for me, it could use a little more salt, but I'm going to wait and add that to the jar. Got just a small hint of a kick. You can just taste a little bit of the smoke, but of course it's going to taste even better once it sits up for a while in a jar. Alright, I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and then personally I like to let mine simmer for about 20-25 minutes, and then I'm going to jar it up. In that time I'm going to eat me a little something because this is making me hungrier. Drink me some more coffee, get my work table cleaned off and disinfected so I can can up jars and get my jars ready and get my canner ready. I'll bring you back as soon as that's all done. Okay, like I said, it's going to be late night canning. I got my pot of bean soup here ready to can up. I've got my funnel, my ladle. This is going to be my debubbler for now. My little cap full of apple cider vinegar because it does have meat juice in it. So the soup has meat juice, so you're going to want to make sure that you clean your rims very, very well. My jar mover, and most important, cup of coffee. What's left of my coffee. Alright, I'm going to get my hot jars out of the water. So my jars are definitely hot. I have my pressure canner, water heating up. And we're going to want to ladle our beans in there. Start from the bottom and scoop up. I will add juice to the jar once I get enough of the beans, meat, and vegetables in it. And I go a little past halfway with mine. And then we're going to add the pot liquor. Oh, look at that beautiful dark color. And I'm going and do bubble while I can. And then we're going to go up to an inch head space. I swear these people know when I'm filming. You can see that beautiful dark green from the pot liquor from the greens. Give it another good stir and get another jar out of the pot. And then that way we can go on and put a funnel in there. Soak our paper towel and vinegar. Wipe those rims, and that's right, they're over here. Don't hide stuff from yourself. Just finger tight. But look at that, is that not beautiful? Alright, and into the canner it goes. Apparently tonight's the night people losing their minds. We're going to fill up one more jar. I want those greens in there. Oh lordy, them greens are hot. I want some pot liquor in the jar, but I want a lot of the main soup ingredients in there. And we're going to fill the rest up with pot liquor. I'm going to give them a good stir. And you want to make sure that there's no air pockets in there. And the rest will be pot liquor. And we're going for a 1-inch headspace, which is right there above that, right below that rim, that first ring. Alrighty. Let me get another jar out of the canner. And I will bring you back. Well, hold on, let me finish the jar. You're going to want to make sure you don't burn yourself, but you want to make sure that ring is good and that rim is good and clean. Put your lid and band on, just finger tight, and into the canner it goes. Now I will bring you back as soon as I get them all done. See you here in a little bit. I'm bringing you back sooner than I thought, because I forgot to put the teaspoon of salt per jar. And of course, as a pressure can, the salt will disperse through the jar a whole lot better. Okay, now I'm gonna fold my rag over, wipe my jars just to be on the safe side, and put these poor things back into the canner. Alright, see you back in a little bit. Okay, I have my 7 beautiful quart jars of soup in. I'm gonna quickly oil my ring around my edge because it's hot. I remembered a glug of vinegar in my canner. And I have my flame on low to make sure my jars stay hot. Okay. And of course we're going to do opposites, just barely snug. Just barely snug. Then we're going to go back and snug them down. And I'm going to wait till it comes up to vent, and I'll bring you back. Okay, you probably can't see it, but she is venting, and I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes before I put the weight on. And I'm going to bring you right back. Okay, she has been venting for 10 minutes. I'm going to put my 10 pounds of weight on her. For my altitude, you need to know if you're, for your altitude, if you're 5, 10, or 15 pounds. Now I'm going to wait till she comes up to a steady 11 pounds of pressure, and I'll bring you back. Okay, now that she is dancing at a steady 11 pounds of pressure, I'm going to can the quarts for 75 minutes. If you're doing pints, it will be 60 minutes. So, I'm in it for the 75-minute haul. Just made me a big old mug of coffee. Gonna sit back and relax. And I'll see you back here when she's done. Okay, she has canned for 75 minutes. Now I'm going to cut the flame off and make sure that it is off. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm going to let it depressurize on its own, and I'm going to wait about 45 minutes to an hour after it's depressurized, gone down to 0. And I will bring you back when it's time to open up the lid. Okay, it has dropped down to 0 pressure, and I let it sit here for about an hour to cool down some. Time to move the weight. Always use a pot holder because that weight is hot. And now we're going to open her up. Of course, I always open it up opposite sides, like the book tells you to. Sorry, I heard somebody coming down the road with screaming music. You open your lid, always away from you, and let the steam escape. I'm going to let them sit here for a little bit, and then I'm going to bring them out of the canner, and I will let you see them. Oh, you hear that beautiful noise? It's always a beautiful noise when you hear them sealing. And I'll bring you back here in just a little bit. Okay, here we have 7 beautiful bubbling jars of Great Northern bean andouille sausage soup in pot liquor. Look how beautiful and dark it is. You can see the greens, some of the sausage, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, mushrooms. Now, of course, as it cools down, what's floating at the top is going to sink, and it's going to be fine. Only thing you need to do is let them cool down completely for 24 hours. Wash your jars up, take your bands off, wash them real good, put a label the top of them, put them on your pantry shelf. beautiful, wholesome, 7 wholesome meals. And as you can tell, they are still very hot. Oh, and there's a green stem. Ha ha ha. But I've got more to can, so I gotta get busy. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will leave the ingredients in the comment section below that I used. And like I said, everything's optional. You can choose to make it differently. All it needs now is some cornbread once you open it. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Everyone take care, and may you each be blessed, because I am happy as can be right now.